From the All Indiana Podcast Network, this is the News 8 Daily 8.
Now, the latest news.
Kylie Conway has the latest news. The top headlines. News you can use.
Please stand by.
Sponsored by LCS Heating and Cooling. Now, here's Wish TV's Kylie Conway.
Hi, this is Kylie Conway, and this is the News 8 Daily 8 for Wednesday, June 9th. Our forecast has basically been on repeat this week. Once again, muggy with chances of rain throughout the day today. Even some storms possible with highs reaching the mid-80s. We'll get some breaks, though, and even maybe see some sunshine peeking through the clouds. A warning from the president this morning about a new form of COVID-19. President Joe Biden tweets, the Delta variant, a highly infectious COVID-19 strain, is spreading rapidly among young people between 12 and 20 years old in the UK. Then he urges young people to get vaccinated. The Delta variant was first pinpointed in India. It is now in the United States. This morning, health officials are working to get Americans vaccinated in hopes of cutting down the number of cases. It means Hoosiers should be on alert. Hannah Mordeau, a reporter here at News 8, of course, checked the CDC COVID-19 variant map this morning. And right now, she found that the Delta strain accounts for 2% of COVID cases in our region of 6 Midwest states, but doesn't make it clear if it's actually been found here in Indiana. Health officials say the strain accounts for more than 6% of all infections in the United States. Dr. Anthony Fauci says the Delta variant is associated with more severe disease and a higher risk of ending up in the hospital. According to Fauci, this variant could spell trouble for the United States if people do not get vaccinated. While there is not a booster shot vaccine trial underway for the Delta variant yet, Fauci says that they are focused on two approaches to vaccine boosting now.
One is boosting against the original wild type for which a person was originally vaccinated, and the other is a variant-specific boost. We are approaching both of those, but the one thing that we are noticing that's important is that the higher your degree of immune response against the wild type, the greater the secondary coverage you have against a wide array of variants.
Fauci is stressing that the vaccine is the best way to protect yourself and to stop this variant from spreading and becoming dominant in the U.S. New mask guidelines for major local attractions. First up, the Children's Museum. Masks are no longer required outdoors. Indoors, it's a mix. Anyone older than 2 must mask up if they're not vaccinated. People who are vaccinated are not required to wear one, but the museum's encouraging them to mask up anyway. To, in the museum's words, serve as a positive role model. The museum says it will make medical exceptions for children. And the Indianapolis Zoo now says visitors who are fully vaccinated do not need to wear masks indoors or outside. Guests do still need to have a timed entry ticket. The CDC is updating its travel guidance for more than 120 countries. 33 countries were moved into the lowest risk category, meaning the agency encourages people to be fully vaccinated before traveling there. Countries like Iceland, Israel, and South Korea are now in the low risk category, with Australia and China. The CDC is still warning against traveling to countries in the highest risk category. 4 new countries designated there: Haiti, Nicaragua, North Korea, and Uzbekistan. Belgium, Brazil, India, and Saudi Arabia were already considered high risk. Pfizer is expanding testing for its COVID-19 vaccine in children. According to the company, up to 4,500 children under 12 years old will be enrolled at more than 90 clinical sites in multiple countries. Participants will get 2 shots of smaller doses. A spokesperson for the company says we can expect to see data from the 5 to 11 age group around September, then data from children between age 2 and 5 after that. And some IU Health employees are planning a protest against the company's decision to require employees be vaccinated against COVID-19. Employees and other healthcare workers plan to gather on the canal behind the IU Health Fairbanks Hall Saturday at 3 p.m. Now, this morning, an online petition to force the company to drop the mandate has gathered more than 8,700 signatures. A protest organizer and IU Health employee is calling the situation a freedom issue.
There are plenty of people that are still on the fence, and they just want to have the right to make that choice. The biggest issue is that employers really should not be able to mandate the medical choices that we make.
According to IU Health's policy, all employees are required to be fully vaccinated by September 1st or file exemptions to be reviewed by July. A woman is waking up in the Boone County Jail this morning. Deputies say she led them on a chase with a baby in the car. It started yesterday afternoon on State Road 32 near the Montgomery County line. Boone County Sheriff's deputies say they approached a possible stolen car, but then the driver took off. In Lebanon, deputies say the driver caused a 4-vehicle crash, then got out with her infant in her arms and tried to run off. Deputies caught her, though. Overnight, the sheriff's office identified that driver as Jemiah Brown. Authorities say the baby was treated for minor injuries from the crash, and Brown now faces several charges, including vehicle theft and neglect of a dependent. A man accused of killing 4 people, including 3 children in Fort Wayne, is formally charged with murder. Prosecutors filed the charges yesterday against Cohen Hanks Barron. Police found the bodies of the victims stabbed to death in a home last week. Officers later arrested Hanks Barron 100 miles away in Lafayette. A court hearing has not been scheduled. And a man is in custody in Tippecanoe County after police found a body inside his home. Police arrested Cody Bryant Monday morning at the same house where they found Brian Duvall dead. Police haven't said how Duvall died. Bryant faces charges that include false informing, obstruction of justice, failure to report a body, and serious violent felon in possession of a firearm. President Biden is leaving for his first international trip while office. He and the First Lady boarded Air Force One this morning and took off to the United Kingdom. Now, over 8 days, he is set to visit the UK, Belgium, and Switzerland. The first up, Great Britain, where he'll meet with Prime Minister Boris Johnson tomorrow ahead of the G7 summit. It's a 3-day meeting featuring the leaders of the group of 7 countries. It's Canada, France, Germany, Italy, Japan, and the UK. The White House says they'll talk about climate change, economic recovery, and public health. Then the president flies to Belgium for the NATO summit on the 14th. There, the White House says he'll discuss transatlantic security and defense. Final major moment of the trip, meeting with Russia's President Vladimir Putin in Switzerland. That's 1 week from today. One possible topic, the recent cyber attacks against U.S. companies by hacking groups in Russia. And this morning, infrastructure talks are at a standstill. The White House says the president is ending talks with lead Republican negotiator, Senator Shelley Moore Capito. Capito's office also confirmed negotiations were over between the two. Both sides had met several times over the past few weeks trying to strike a deal, but have been unsuccessful. The White House says Biden is now reaching out to other moderate senators in search of a compromise. Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer believes a deal is still possible.
A bipartisan group led by Senator Sinema and I think Senator Portman is the lead Republican, are trying to put something together that might be closer to what the president needs.
The president intends to keep in touch with lawmakers about infrastructure during his European tour. And this morning, Vice President Kamala Harris is under pressure to visit the southern border. The criticism comes as Harris completes her first international trip visiting Mexico and Guatemala. Harris is promising to visit, but says other issues need to be priority.
I've spent a lot of time on the border, and both going there physically and aware of the issues. But the reality of it is that we need to prioritize what's happening at the border, and we have to prioritize why people are going to the border.
Harris is leading the administration's efforts to find out why people are migrating to the U.S. and how to slow the number of migrants arriving. The IRS is investigating how the tax information of some of the country's wealthiest people was leaked. News site ProPublica released the IRS records of billionaires Warren Buffett, Jeff Bezos, Michael Bloomberg, and Elon Musk. ProPublica will not say how they obtained them. It is illegal to share a person's tax returns without their permission. The report looks at the ways the mega-rich stay within tax laws, but when the growth of their wealth in all forms is included, end up paying at far lower rates than most American families. ProPublica calls its formula the true tax rate. Buffett released a statement on the report. He writes, "I continue to believe the tax code should be changed substantially. I hope that the earned income tax credit is greatly expanded and additionally believe that huge dynastic wealth is not desirable for our society." Jeff Bezos and Elon Musk have not yet commented on the report. Michael Bloomberg's spokesperson says he paid the minimum tax rate for all federal, state, and local tax codes. One local doctor is using Pride Month to focus on the importance of LGBT patients getting the proper medical care. Dr. Mike Giffen works at Community Health Network, and he says patients and healthcare providers need open communication.
It's all about showing that we're open, accepting, and not only that, but that we're respectful and supporting of that community. If we do that, patients open up, tell us things, and then we can kind of help them get the health care that they need and that they deserve.
A new poll shows more people are self-identifying as LGBT. According to the latest Gallup poll, 5.6% of adults in the U.S. that responded to the poll identify as either lesbian, gay, bisexual, or transgender. That's compared to 4.5% of adults in 2017. 300 new jobs are coming to central Indiana. Tempur Sealy International is building a new production facility in Crawfordsville. The company is best known for its Tempur-Pedic mattresses. Construction will begin this fall and be complete by 2023. And another 200 jobs will be available by 2024 in Boone County. ITS Logistics is building its distribution facility in Whitestown. This will be the first Midwest facility for ITS. And this is something new as far as cicadas and issues being created. There was a cicada that apparently caused a car crash in Ohio. This is according to the Cincinnati Police Department. According to police, the cicada flew in through an open car window and hit the driver in the face, distracting the driver and causing that driver to crash into a pole. The department shared some photos of the crash on Twitter. I have posted them on my Facebook page as well for you to see. The airbags were deployed. The damage looks pretty bad to the car, but police say that the driver just had some minor injuries. Now, the police also added the hashtag in their post, "Nothing good happens with cicadas." So again, as I mentioned, the driver said to be okay, but apparently the cicada, on the other hand, is not. Police found it on the floorboard. And it just didn't make it. So that's just one other thing we can worry about with all these cicadas. However, I will say I haven't seen a single one. And I know that probably sounds absurd to some of you listening because if you have seen them, it seems like they're everywhere. So really depending on where you live, where you've traveled, if you've seen just this huge brood X at wherever you are. But yeah, I haven't seen one. And I can't say that I'm complaining about it. And also, a high-end designer is putting high heels on Crocs. Balenciaga debuted the collaboration during the company's spring 2022 fashion show. So the heels come in both green and black. The company also showed off Croc-inspired rain boots. I could understand that a little bit. Now, one celebrity stylist says he expects the shoes to sell for about $1,000. No price has officially been announced, but Balenciaga has worked with Crocs before. It rolled out a platform shoe that was around $850, and I just cannot imagine paying that for any shoe. Particularly, I think you would have to pay me to wear a heeled Croc. That I could do, but that's about it. But to each their own. If you got an extra $1,000 and you want to wear some heeled Crocs, go for it. Now to some business headlines here. Millennials and Gen Z are spending more than they did pre-pandemic. That's according to American Express CEO. They're also going back to work. Millennials and Gen Z were spending 125% of their pre-pandemic levels. Meanwhile, the teenage cohort of Gen Z is leading the job market recovery. Employment is booming among the teenagers, as the last two jobs reports showed. Some prescription medicines are getting cheaper, effective immediately. Any Walmart Plus member will receive discounts up to 85% off for select medications, or in some cases entirely for free as part of the members only prescription savings program. It's Walmart Plus RX for less. And Amazon is offering 6-month prescriptions starting at $6 for medications for common ailments. The company's latest effort to entice more people to buy drugs online rather than at a pharmacy or supermarket. Starbucks will let customers bring their own mugs back to cafes again starting on June 22nd. Now, before the pandemic, the coffee chain encouraged customers to bring their own reusable mugs to stores. But in March of last year, Starbucks suspended the program because of the coronavirus. Starbucks has been gradually bringing it back. Employees will only accept clean mugs, and they will not touch them. Instead, a customer will place their own cup into a larger ceramic mug. The barista will hold the ceramic mug's handle rather than the cup of the customer when preparing the drink. And once the beverage is ready, the customer will pick their cup up from within that ceramic mug that was supplied by Starbucks, so no germs exchanged there. A fireworks shortage has customers bracing for tight supplies and rising prices. Fireworks are in short supply this year, apparently, as high demand meets supply chain snags. Several vendors have already run out of fireworks, and many have hiked prices. Retailers are advising customers, if you see some fireworks you want, you better grab them while supplies last. And now to some sports. Developers are primed to bring pickleball to Westfield on a massive scale. A $30 million plan would build the Grand National Pickleball Center on 25 acres across the street from Grand Park. The plan includes 36 indoor and 16 pickleball courts and 30 tennis courts. One former city councilman says he expects 6 big tournaments per year.
We're just looking forward to participating in those national tournaments and bringing a lot of people here and having a lot of fun.
It's a perfect scenario, especially for the pros that want to come in and fly in. Indoors is just a perfect facility for that.
The project would be the largest facility in the country dedicated to pickleball. Design and construction will begin this summer, and organizers hope to have the courts ready by winter of next year. Today, we'll get our first look at plans for the College Football Playoff National Championship. The College Football Playoff Foundation and the 2022 Indianapolis Host Committee are meeting to discuss the event. Executives are expected to host a meeting before taking a tour of Lucas Oil Stadium at noon. The game will be held at the stadium on January 10th. Organizers add that there will also be fanfare events planned alongside the championship. The Indy Fuel are looking to shrug off a rough start to the Kelly Cup playoffs, a 2-zip shutout to the Greenville Swamp Rabbits. Game 2 is tomorrow in South Carolina. The Fuel will have to win 2 games in order to bring the series back to the Indiana Farmers Coliseum. That game would be Monday, June 14th. The Colts are sharing the final total for the team's Kicking the Stigma fundraiser. $4,546,898 were raised for the initiative. We've talked about it here on the podcast. We've reported on it extensively throughout Daybreak. Now, the effort was created to raise awareness about mental health issues. The money raised will support mental health programming around the state in the form of grants. Organizations and groups in Indiana can apply for those grants right now through June 23rd. And talk about giving back here. Really cool story from one Central Indiana couple. The couple donated nearly 300,000 rewards points that they had accumulated at Buffalo Wild Wings. They were able to feed 200 men and 75 women and children through Wheeler Mission. Now, Laura Dugan, a doctor at Northwest Radiology, and her husband Bob go to Buffalo Wild Wings in Castleton a lot, apparently. The manager there says Bob sits at the bar often and watches the Colts, Reds, and Pacers games. So why did they donate the points? They said it's easy. It was the right thing to do.
And we would encourage anybody else, the big, small, whether it's a gift card, whatever you can do. It feels good.
Thanks for everybody that's helped us. We really appreciate everybody.
And be kind to your fellow man.
The population that we serve here at Wheeler, they can't afford to go to restaurants. They just don't have the means to be able to do that financially right now. And so to have a restaurant actually come to them is very generous, it's very kind.
Wheeler Mission says the Buffalo Wild Wings delivery was a surprise. Both men and women's shelters had no idea what was for lunch until they walked in the cafeteria. Hey, and one final quick reminder, we need your help here at Wish TV as we hit the midway point of the Great Pasta Push. Hopefully you've heard us talking about this on Daybreak and on Wish TV throughout our newscasts all day long. It's also all over our social media. It's an awesome campaign. We're teamed up with Second Helpings to feed people in need. Second Helping says it goes through about 1,800 pounds of pasta each week preparing meals. The current need, they say, far exceeds the usual donations. So you can help out. Just head to wishtv.com and click on the As Seen on Wish TV section. You're going to see how you can donate right now. And then there's also a list of places where you can drop off pasta. So some easy ways and some really important ways that we can all contribute here to help those in our communities who need our help. This has been your News 8 Daily. For Wish TV, I'm Kylie Conway. Online at wishtv.com and follow us on Facebook when you search Wish TV.
The News 8 Daily 8 is sponsored by LCS Heating and Cooling.
Be sure to like and subscribe to this podcast.
The News 8 Daily 8 with Kylie Conway. And be sure to discover even more great podcasts now at allindianapodcastnetwork.com.